Okay, this is lesson 10. We continue with conditionals. So let's have a simple example. If score greater than 90, colon, we print A. So let's say score is 52. Now let's check 52 greater than 90. Is it true? No, this is false, so we don't print anything. Now let's say score equals 101. 101 greater than 90. Is it true? This one is true, and the output is A. So here we have if statement. This one is our condition, and this one statement under if. So what you have to notice here is this part, which is indentation. It's a part of the syntax, so it's a rule that you have to follow. Now what if score is less than 90 or equal to 90? So if this is the case, we don't see anything, we don't see any output. But we need something, like we have to inform the user, we have to display something. So we can use else statement. We have if score greater than 90, we print A, otherwise or else we print, let's say, I don't know, let's say I, for example. So as you can see, we have else, and again we have indentation. So this time if you say score equals 52, 52 greater than 90, is it true? No, this is not true. So this one is false. You go to else, you don't need any condition next to else, and then you print I, which is the output. Now let's have another example. If x equals 50, this is not assignment operator, we print correct, else x less than 50, we print wrong. So at first glance, everything seems fine. We have if x equals 50, else x less than 50, we do something. But this part here is absolutely wrong. You can't have a condition next to else. So let's write the correct version of this piece of code. If x equals 50, if x equals 50, we print correct. Else, like no condition. I'm not writing any condition. Else, print wrong. And as you can see, we have this lovely indentation. So far we've been working with simple conditions, x less than 50, x equals something, x greater than something. But what if we want to have more than one condition? Is it possible? It is possible. So we have if. Now let's use parentheses, x greater than 20 and x less than y, or x equals 30. I'm sure you know this one is Boolean operator or logical operator. So basically we have 1, 2, and 3 conditions. So altogether we say we have a compound condition. And as usual, we can have statement, print, or other things. Now let's mention something about indentation. We have if one or more than one conditions, some statements, and we have else, again, some statements. On the right, we have similar structure, but with a small difference. If condition, we have statements, and we have else, some statements. So here, if I draw a line, so as you can see, if and else are aligned with each other. But here, no, they're not. So which structure is correct? Definitely the one on the left, not this one. And this is the reason here. If and else are not aligned with each other. And here, let me show you indentation. We have indentation here, we have indentation here. Here we do have indentation, as you can see, but the problem is if and else are not aligned with each other. So never use this one here. Now let's talk about nested conditionals. So you have, let's say, if, and then another if inside. So this is a nested form. We say nested conditionals or nested if statements. So let's have the general structure. You have if, your condition or conditions, again, statements. So you have else, and then you have if. So as you can see, we have if under else. We have if, which belongs to else. You have condition, statements, and again you have else, so you can continue. We have if, conditions, statements, so you can continue like this. There is no limit. So what's happening here? We have if and then this part, which belongs to this if. So this block here belongs to this if. And we have this else here. Let's say we have one main if and one main else. So whatever you see here belongs to this else. So the whole block belongs to this else. Now let's go deeper. We have this if. So whatever you see here under this if belongs to this one here. So this block belongs to this if. And we have else. So whatever you see here belongs to this else. So the whole block belongs to this else. And you can continue like this. So this is nested structure. Now let's have one example. So we have a table, we have test score, and we have grade. So if it is 90 and above, the grade is A. 80 to 89, the grade is B. 70 to 79, the grade is C. 60 to 69, the grade is D. And the last one, if it is below 60, the grade is F. So let's write a piece of code for this table. So we need some conditions. Is it possible to solve this one without nested structure? Yes, you can. But in this example, let's use nested structure. So first you have if 90 and above. So if score greater than or equal to 90, let's print A. Else, so it is not 90 or it is not equal to 90. It's between 80 and 89. So else, so be careful, you don't write any condition next to else. And then you have if score greater than or equal to 80. Let's have indentation. You print B. So what if this one is not true? Again, else. Now let's have another if score greater than or equal to 70, print C. Else, what if this one is not true? You have if grade greater than or equal to 60, you print D. And else, so this time no need for another if, you print F. So what's happening here? You have one main if and then statement indentation. So as you can see here, they are aligned with each other here. They're aligned, and the last part, they're aligned. So of course we do have indentation. You must have indentation. So this is the code of this table. Okay, let's continue with small note about if and else. So this is if that you have to write whenever you want to use any condition, and this is the else. So if you have this if, or let's say this if, all of them are wrong. So we don't need any capitals. And the same rule applies to else. You can't have such else, or this one, or this one. So again, we don't need any capitals. We don't have to write any capitals. Just this one, lowercase letters, and this one, lowercase letters. So we know about if and else, but there is something here. We have if something else. What is that something? That something else. Elif. So now let's talk about if, elif, and else. So let's write the general syntax. You have if, condition or conditions. So this time you have elif, and you have conditions, yes. So whenever you have elif, you must write a condition or some conditions. So this is totally different from else. So whenever you have else, no need for conditions, but whenever you have if or elif, you have to write conditions. So you continue like this. You can have elif as many as you want. There is no limit to the number of elifs. So it depends on the question. So you continue like this, and the last one is else. As usual, they must be aligned with each other. And of course, we do have indentation, 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 and indentation. So we have if, elif, 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 and the last one is else. So is it necessary to have else as the last statement? It's not. You can finish this structure using elif. So you can have this structure. If conditions, elif conditions. So you continue like this. So look here on the left, the last one is else, but this time let's use elif. But you have to write a condition because you are using elif. So you can't leave it without any condition. So as a note, let me use lowercase if and elif come with condition or conditions, else does not come with any conditions. So take them as a note. And before I continue, let me mention another note about conditions. So let's say we have if and then two conditions, x greater than 50 or y equals 10. Let's put both of them inside parentheses. And we have some statements. So as you can see, we have parentheses here. Is it fine or we have to remove parentheses? This one is totally fine. You can have parentheses around your conditions. Or you can have the same thing without parentheses. X greater than 50 or y equals 10. So again, the one in green is totally fine. So both of them are fine. Okay, let's continue with an example about if, elif, and else. Let me change the color. X equals 100 if x equals 100. We print a elif x greater than 100, print b. These are just conditions. We don't have any rules. Elif x less than 100, we print c. Elif x equals 0, we print d. And the last one, you can finish this one with elif or else, but now let's use else. We print e. Does the order of conditions matter here? Definitely not. The order doesn't matter. You can have x equals 100 here and x greater than 100 here as the first condition. So it doesn't matter. So x equals 100. Let's say this is our input. So x equals 100. Now let's check this one, the first one. 100 equals 100. Is it true? This one is true. So what is the output? Just A. But wait. What about other conditions? Should I check x greater than 100, x less than 100? And the answer is no. So as a note, so this one is so important. Be careful. So if you have if, elif, else structure, you need to check one statement. So that statement can be if statement or one elif or else. So here x equals 100. This is true. You ignore the rest. You skip the rest. Now let's have another input. X equals 52. This is our input. 52 equals 100. This is false. Now we go to elif. 52 greater than 100. This is false. Elif x less than 52. 52 is less than 100. This is true. So if the input is 52, the output is C. So we have printed C. Should we check x equals 0? No. Should we go to else? No. Once one of them is true, you skip the rest. So this is one rule about if, elif, 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 else structure. And let's have another structure. This one is a bit interesting. So you have if some conditions, so if again some conditions, so you continue like this, and the last one is also if. And as you can see, we have multiple ifs, and all of them are aligned with each other. So we have if, and if as the last statement. So basically we have multiple ifs. So what's happening here? If the first one is true, you do something, you execute some statements, you do not skip the rest. You have to check all the conditions because one if comes after another if. So they are coming after each other. It's like we have a sequence of if statements. So this one is true, you check this one. This one is true, you check the other one. So what if this one is false? So let's say this one is false. Should I check the other one? Of course. You will check this one. It doesn't matter if it is false or true. You have to check all conditions next to if statement. So this is the difference between multiple ifs or this structure and this structure. So let's finish the lesson here. As usual, take care and bye bye.